They did it 2 times in a row by making bangers. Dead Space 2 is really, really good. And Dead Space 2 turned my pants brown. I know this game was released back in 2011, and I'm speaking as if it came out today, but I never played Dead Space 2 back in the day. Honestly, I actually never played Dead Space at all back in the day. And just as last year, I played through the Dead Space remake, and it was really good. I liked it. I actually made a video on this channel, so you can go find it if you'd like. I'm sure I'll link it at the end of this video for you. But yeah, I like Dead Space 1. I thought it was really good. It reminded me a lot of Resident Evil 4, and I love that game. It's probably my favorite Resident Evil game, along with a lot of other people's. And now I played Dead Space 2 this year, and it was freaking good. So Dead Space 2 was released in 2011, developed by Visceral Games, and published by EA for the PlayStation 3, Windows, and Xbox 360. It sold 2 million copies in the first week and 4 million worldwide as of 2017, from what I could find. Once again, I give you these sales figures, but take them with a grain of salt because I go to multiple locations and try to find different sources and things that talk about sales, and it's kind of all over the place, so I kind of just pick a ballpark, I guess. It could be more by now, who freaking knows. Dead Space 2 is a direct sequel to Dead Space 1, and you still follow Isaac Clarke, who is the main protagonist. And this game is a straight-up horror game. I thought that number 1 was pretty creepy with very good atmosphere, and I think this one does it even better. Right from the very beginning of the game, the music, the tone, the colors, the lighting, the sound effects, everything adds to the atmosphere of what Dead Space 2 is, and is once again a straight up horror game. There are moments where I was playing this game, and I had my headphones on, of course, because I want to be very immersed into this game, but I'm turning corners and I hear noises, or the lights flicker, or air starts shooting out of a vent or something like that. This game nailed it. One of the creepiest parts of the game for me was, and just because of how uncanny and unsettling it was, is there's a part where the whole game takes place on this space station. And there's this part where you go to like a nursery or like a preschool or kindergarten or something like that for children, a school for little kids. And as you're going through this nursery, you see lots of different kid things. There's drawings on the wall. You can pick up these text logs where it's the teachers talking about the children, and they talk about how these children are being raised in space, and they're not on Earth, and they're not breathing good air. And anyway, it's just layers like that add to the world that you're in, even though it feels post-apocalyptic, honestly. It feels run down, ruined. It's overran by aliens. And we're inside this nursery or this preschool, and we're going around seeing all these weird things. There's blood in places. There's drawings on the walls. There's just lots of weird things. And then to top it off, at this specific moment, you end up seeing these little aliens that look like, preschool kids running after you, and they are aliens. They are going to kill you, so you have to shoot them. But it just adds to the world building and the atmosphere of this specific section where you're like, holy crap, these are probably the kids that went to this school. And you see like dead bodies in places, and you can only infer that those might be the teachers that were eaten by the kids. Anyway, Dead Space 2 nailed it with the horror aspect of this game. I think it's so good. This is one of the best horror games I've played. And like I said, number 1 was really good. I think number 2 tops it as far as the horror elements go. Of like, this game has you on edge, and there's some jump scares, but they never felt like cheap or cheeky jump scares. It all felt like, man, I'm in the game. And there are parts where I was expecting a jump scare and I didn't get it, so I'm just freaking myself out while playing through the game. And then on top of just the atmosphere that is set, and the tone and the lighting, all of that good stuff, you've got all the aliens that you're fighting, all the classic necromorphs from the first game, but like I already mentioned, they added those little, toddler alien things that you kill. They've added a few other monsters to this game as well. But you still have the classic necromorphs, which are just mutated humans that have like these praying mantis claws coming out of them. You've got like the classic scorpion looking one where it's like half a body with arms and like this one tentacle thing. I don't even, like a tail. You've got the baby one with these 3 tentacles that snipe at you. You've got explosive ones too, where they have like this mutated giant arm that they run at you and blow up. And there's just a lot more that this game offers, and it's so freaking good. You still have all the classic abilities, like one of the main ones is your grav gun, or your, I don't even know what to call it, your gravity gun, where you can pick up items, and like a telekinesis, I guess. You can pick up items and shoot them back at people, at monsters, and there's like almost everything you can pick up, where I didn't do this in the first game, or at least I don't remember doing this as much, but you can use the telekinesis to pick up items like ammo and health and all sorts of like upgrades and the hockey puck things that I can't remember what they're called, but that's how you upgrade your weapons and whatnot and your armor. I did that a lot this time through in Dead Space 2, where I would use my kinesis, and I would pick up items that were far away from me or that I couldn't even reach. And I would use the kinesis to pick them up, and then it gets pulled to you, and then you can put that item or whatever it is in your inventory, like I already mentioned, money, bullets, all sorts of stuff. But you can also pick up environmental items and shoot them back at monsters. A lot of the things don't really hurt them, like you can pick up a chair and shoot it at a monster, it's not going to do much. But you can also pick up one of the praying mantis arms from one of the dead necromorphs, rip it off its body and shoot it at another one and spike the other necromorph to the wall. It's freaking cool. Like the combat in this game is very well done. And like I said, you can rip stuff off of, like, you can rip limbs off, but that's also like the best way to go about killing necromorphs is to shoot all of their limbs off. Shoot their legs, you can shoot their head off, you can shoot their tentacle arm things. So it's a very visceral game, and when you start dying, there's so many death animations for Isaac. I don't even know how many are in the game, but some of them are very graphic. Like, you can get ripped in half, you can get burnt, you can get your head ripped off, you can get your eyes gouged out. There's this one death scene where like a tentacle goes and it gets shoved into your head, like into your mouth. Lots of really weird and graphic deaths that Isaac can experience. I didn't really die too much. Like, there were some parts that were a little more tricky for me, and I played on normal, but it was always like I'm in the middle of a cutscene and I take my hands off of my controller, and there's a quick time event, oops, and I missed it, and then I end up dying in a cutscene. So that happened a few times for me, which you'd think I'd learn that after that happened once, even during cutscenes, I would just hold onto the controller just in case, because you never know. But whatever, it was fine. I thought it was mostly funny anyway, because if you die during a cutscene, it doesn't take you back that far usually. So I didn't really experience any that I was very bitter or annoyed about restarting any of those QTEs if I failed them. So it wasn't that big of a deal. You still got lots of puzzles to solve. That's pretty fun. There wasn't anything that was too like hard to figure out. However, there were some really creepy and like shocking ones, I guess, for lack of a better term right now. But there was like a scientist that I needed access to get through another door, and his body was like destroyed on a table. So I picked up his torso with his head and took it over to the scanner, and it scanned him in, and the door was able to open. There were also other parts that were similar to that, where I would pick up a body and I would, with the kinesis, and hold it in front of me and trigger like these laser explosions that would kill me otherwise, but as I pick up this meat shield and use that, it blows up that instead. So yeah, those were some puzzles that stood out to me. Sorry for the spoilers. I guess spoilers for the whole game. But anyway, yeah, man, Dead Space 2 is so freaking good. It's the atmosphere is incredible. The gunplay. I want to talk about the gunplay. There's lots of different guns for you to use. You got the classic plasma cutter, which is freaking cool and honestly is a very iconic video game gun, in my opinion. You've got the plasma cutter, which you can change which way the reticle's aiming. Like your 3 shots, you can either have them in a vertical line or you can swap them to a horizontal one. I mostly did horizontal because it's easier to use the horizontal plasma cutter to cut limbs off of monsters and whatnot. So you got the plasma cutter, you've got like a shotgun adjacent one. It's kind of like a bigger plasma cutter, but more of a shotgun, I guess. You've got the saw gun, you've got a sniper, you've got a rocket launcher, or it's more of like a trip mine launcher. It shoots grenades, like a grenade launcher. You have like a grav gun, which was really cool. You have like this laser rifle that was pretty cool too. So that was like one of my favorite parts about these survival horror games, more specifically Resident Evil and Dead Space, is finding all of the different items. I love exploring in video games, and I love it even more when I get rewarded with stuff like this. I go off the beaten path and I find a secret door, or, you know, I move some environmental things that are in the way of a door, and I open it and bam, there's like a schematic for a gun. And that stuff, it's so good. I love it. It rewards the player for exploring and going off the beaten path. Mind you, Dead Space 2 it's a pretty linear game, but there are still, you know, different doorways and corridors and things that you can go into to explore a little bit. And yeah, it's fun. I like finding upgrades. I like finding more weapons to use. Even if I don't always use those weapons, like I definitely tried out every single weapon at least once. And then I found the ones that I really liked, and what the game does is whatever weapons are in your inventory, it pretty much like will just drop ammo for that. But when you get to stores and save stations, you can purchase whatever ammo for whatever gun you're using, as long as you got money. So, I mean, the gameplay loop's really, really fun. Like, the combat is fun, and then exploration is fun because you get more guns to mess with, which goes back to how the combat is fun. The game is just good. This is a very well-crafted game. And another thing that I thought was really, really fun was leveling up. Like I said, you get the hockey pucks, and then you can put your different power cells into different power slots within your guns. It's really neat to see how the guns level up. It's kind of like a skill tree. That's what I'm going to call it, as a skill tree, because I mean, I guess that is what it is. But like each different place where you put the hockey puck, you can level up a different aspect of your suit, or a gun, or your stasis ability, which is another aspect of the game. Same in like with Dead Space 1, but you can use your stasis to freeze enemies, or at least slow them down almost to a freeze. So that's really fun. But yeah, you can level up your suit. You can get more health. You can get more air, like more oxygen when you go out into space and do more spacey things. You can level up your guns to get more ammo, to get more reload faster, to do more damage. So it's just fun. Like it's fun exploring and finding upgrades and finding guns that you can then try, level up the guns that you do like, try all the other guns, and just mess with the combat, because the combat's fun. Like you're going into a room and you can stasis a few enemies, and you blow off this one's spike, and then you use your kinesis and blast it into another necromorph that shoots across the room and gets pinned on the wall, and then you've got little baby aliens running at you that you're blasting, and then the nuke guy drops down, you blow up his arm, and it nukes a whole bunch of enemies. It's just good, man. This is so fun. And then the other thing that I really liked about Dead Space is there's not really a UI. It's all very diegetic, and I love it. Your health is indicated on the back of Isaac with your bars. You also have your stasis right there, which is like a half circle. And then you've got your ammo. Whenever you aim your gun, it shows you within kind of that, like the high-tech aimer, I guess, the laser. When you're aiming your gun, it shows you how much ammo you have left too. So all of the important information that you need to know is on Isaac himself, pretty much, because this is a third-person shooter over the shoulder, and it's done so well. Man, the game is really, really good. I loved Dead Space 1 Remake. I think I like Dead Space 2 even better. I don't know if I like the story better. I think the story in Dead Space 1 might have been better for me overall, but this one was still fine. Like, the story was eerie, and it left a lot of questions for me. I was always asking questions, and pretty much up until the end. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the atmosphere, the level design, being on this giant space station that feels abandoned and overrun by aliens is really good. I mean, Isaac's a fun character. The voice acting's good. The music's incredible. The sound effects is awesome. The gunplay is amazing. Exploration is great. Like this game nails it. It really does. this is a straight up horror game. I was freaked out while playing it. I don't think it's the scariest horror game I've played. I need to play more horror games. I think that might go to, I've never played PT, but I did watch my buddy play it once, and that was freaky. But I think Visage might be the scariest game that I've personally played, and I've never beat it. Maybe one day. So yeah, that is Dead Space 2. I think this game is freaking awesome. If you like horror games, you should play it. If you played Dead Space 1, you should play Dead Space 2. I think you'll like it. And if you haven't played Dead Space 1 or 2, well, you probably should. Unless you don't like horror games, then watch somebody else play it. Or if you just don't like horror games at all, well, then this game's not for you. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Dead Space 2 down in the comment section below. If you want to go watch my review of Dead Space 1, I will link it here at the end of the video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep it rad.